I am keen and eager.
Caught me out. Deputy Chief Minister, please.
Keen and eager to respond to the nonsense that we just heard from the leader opposition, talking about lack of leadership. This is true leadership, Madam Speaker. This is about making rules and laws best for the Territory, doing it when it needs to be done, doing it to make sure that the Territory is a safer place. Because we know, Madam Speaker, under the previous Labor government, the Territory went to rack and ruin. It went downhill very quickly, and perhaps, Madam Speaker, that's one of the reasons why I stood, because I felt that the Territory lifestyle and the Territory safety had been eroded by the previous Labor government. So that's probably why I'm here today, Madam Speaker. She went on saying the rules don't apply. Madam Speaker, this is the rules. We are following standing orders. We're not changing the standing orders. We are simply following the rules and how they're set out in the rule book of the Parliament. So we are following the rules to a T to make sure that we do what we're elected to do, which is keep the community safe. Keep the community safe, which is something the others failed to do, Madam Speaker.
Can you just pause, Deputy Chief Minister? Opposition Leader, you're on a warning. Please continue.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And then she mentioned the Scrutiny Committee, the committee that she scrapped, the committee that they scrapped when she was a minister in this government. So she's got no credibility to talk about the Scrutiny Committee because they cut it completely. Yeah. There was no chance, Madam Speaker, to say anything to the Scrutiny Committee because that previous Labor government cut that committee, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, so when she talks about here and talking about integrity, she needs to look in the mirror because there would be no reflection whatsoever if she did that, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, now I want to talk about this matter is urgent. Madam Speaker, this is about making sure that we protect the community. We make sure that community safety is #1 priority, and we need to be able to get this legislation in urgency to allow those negotiations and that consultation to begin. Madam Speaker, I know that the previous government didn't consult and they go over and say that we're not consulting. This is the first step to allow us to consult with the relevant stakeholders to get this legislation, which is not about how this operates and the functions of these roles. This is simply about creating the role so we can go away and we can negotiate. We can go away, we can consult how this is going to work, the terms and conditions, to make sure that we get it right. Madam Speaker, we know that the previous Labor government completely stuffed it up when it came to community safety in their 19 years of leading the government here in the Northern Territory, and crime went out of control, the economy sank to the lowest thing possible, and Speaker, people were literally driving all the way out to God's country in Howard Springs to go shopping because Cash Arena was too dangerous to live. So imagine, Madam Speaker, the land of opportunity. Imagine, Madam Speaker, if we had these community safety officers back then when we could actually control the community and make it safe to go shopping. Literally safe to go shopping, Madam Speaker, instead of having to drive 30-odd kilometres out to God's country to be able to go and buy a loaf of bread, Madam Speaker. So this is really, Madam Speaker, about making sure that we get things right, and that's why it's on urgency, because this really is urgent. We want to start consultation, we want to start negotiating, we want to start setting up the terms, how these positions are going to work, so we can keep the community safe, Madam Speaker. We were elected to do that clearly, Madam Speaker, and she spoke about 38 pieces of legislation and not consulting and rushing them through. Madam Speaker, we took our policies to the election. We had a clear win, Madam Speaker, so we consulted with not just 1 or 2 people, we consulted with every Territorian. They voted, and they put 17 people here on this side of the government, Madam Speaker. So when you talk about lack of consultation, you cannot get better consultation. These 38 pieces of legislation are through our plan. I know the member for Cromer who speaks about our plan quite regularly. They are putting our plan in place. The leader, Leah Finocchiaro, who is showing leadership here, is getting that. We promised to do it, and we're doing it. We have promised to do it. And I don't like it, and that's probably why they're over there, Madam Speaker. But let me tell you, we're all out and about in the community, and the positive feedback we're getting from being safe in the community, picking up the economy, businesses turning around, is showing that the leadership that Leah Finocchiaro is showing this government is working. It's absolutely working, and we're here to make the community safe, Madam Speaker, and that's why this legislation is so urgent.